Do you know there's a different one in there?
Huh?
Those are five?
No. Fives?
Fives.
Oh,
Cause
you should put them up on the top?
Mine was there too. I didn't put anything on those. Of mine, remember?
Oh, I have three. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna pour them all up anyways. Okay. There are two different types. Oh, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. There are two different types of
Trays?
Trays. Okay. These are what you're gonna put your models in, so that everyone, their models all look the same. This one right here, this is your maxillary one. It's a B. I should have done A, but I put B in there. So your maxillary is going to come to a point, and then your mandibular is rounded. Okay. So B maxillary, A mandibular. First thing you're going to do is you're going to unwrap your model. It doesn't have to be sitting. We may have had ours sitting a little bit too long, but it's okay. You don't want to have it sit too long because there can be distortion. You want to make sure that you pour them up as soon as possible. Put your wet paper towel on top of here. We want to make sure that they stay clean. That's really dirty. And then we have our model, our impression. Then what you're going to do is you're going to use, this is plaster. In here there's the plaster in the box. So what you're going to do you're going to use 4 scoops of powder to 1 full thing of water. Let's see if I have enough room in my small bowl. I may have to go to a large one. Room temperature water. If it's too cold, then it won't set up. You have about a good 5 minutes or so to work with this. So you don't have to worry about it setting up as quick as the alginate. So add the water. You're going to want to have it at a peanut butter consistency. Mixing is not as vital as alginate. If it doesn't seem to be mixing, just add some more water. There we go. Once we get to that consistency, then you're going to vibrate it. This is the dental vibrator.
You have to put the paper towel on it?
Yes, because if this overflows and plaster gets on the machine, you have to clean it up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so turn the vibrator to medium, and then you're going to push down on the bowl. This is going to get the air bubbles out. The more air bubbles that you can get out of the plaster, the cleaner your impression will be, the cleaner your model will be. And if you mess up on pouring up, you have to retake everything. So you have to retake the impression on your patient. That's the worst phone call you have to make, is to call the patient and say, I messed up, I need you to come back in. You can't have your retainers until I fix this. So you have to come back in and get your impressions retaken. They did that to you? It sucks, huh? So, and it looks very unprofessional on you as the assistant. So once you think that you got a lot of the air bubbles out, push the sides together. Then you're going to take your impression tray, and using the flexible mixing spatula, you're going to place the plaster at the end of by the molars and let it flow. Keep on adding it, and you're going to let it flow through all the teeth. The first thing you're going to be doing is adding a small layer of plaster through all the teeth so that you don't get air bubbles. Let it flow through. There we go. And once you think you've covered all the teeth, let it flow a little bit out. That's going to get all the like disinfectant solution and saliva out of it. Then you can take the bigger spatula, add more material, let it flow. This is getting rid of a lot of the big air bubbles too. Once you have enough in there, then you can start putting it on the top. Every time you put plaster in there, you want to make sure that you put it on the vibrator so that it bonds together, adheres. There we go. Turn the vibrator off. Then you're going to take your extra material, that's maxillary, so we want the point. You're going to take your extra material, put it into the mold. Smooth it out. Use all the extra material, don't waste any. Take your tray, place it in, kind of just give it a slight push, not very deep. If you push this all the way down and plaster gets up over the edges, you will not be able to get it apart. So just give it a slight push. Then with a wet finger, you're going to go around the edges. That's just going to clean it up. Also, in the back here, make sure that the material goes up, because if you don't do that, then there will be a great big void under the molars, and your molars will fall off, and you can't have that. You don't want that to happen. So I'm going to smooth up the rest. And then go under here. And this needs to sit for at least half an hour. You want to feel it. Okay? When it feels cool to the touch, it's ready to be taken apart. And then when you take it apart, you should be able to peel the tray off and then clean it up. Sometimes you have to take the other spatula and just get in there. It is like art. It's like using ceramics and stuff. So that's it.